Hello, my name is Ryan Mackey, and today I'll be talking about my personal leadership philosophy and which characteristics really stand out to me in my philosophy. So, I just want to start off by saying what my leadership philosophy is, and that is to basically work smarter and not harder. And doing this so by emphasizing three important characteristics, in which they are integrity, teamwork, and creativity. So my philosophy derives from my past experiences for the most part, in which I remember distinctly that I always kind of emerged as a leader in school when we're doing group projects, as well as church. We always tried to evangelize and bring more kids into our youth group, and my youth pastor saw that I had kind of a talent or a gift um, to kind of bring people in and just to check out our youth group for once. Um, so at that time, I'd realized that I was just a natural leader. Um, but in doing so, I realized that the three big traits that I kind of always used to um, lead in school and at church were integrity, having integrity, using teamwork to my advantage, and just being a creative person. Um, so recently, probably 4 years ago or so, I went on a missions trip to Guatemala in Zacapa, which is around 3.5 hours away from Guatemala City. And that trip absolutely changed my life. It taught me greater and better things about transformational leadership and how I can better myself and better those around me just based off of the experiences that I had been a part of. I remember distinctly that I met kids there that obviously only spoke Spanish, and I had been taking around 2 years of Spanish at that time, and I remember talking to them just a little bit in Spanish, trying to practice my Spanish for school. But I remember those kids were just overjoyed to see people from a different country speak their language and just get in touch with them. And you always hear the saying that underprivileged kids from different countries are always overjoyed just by the littlest things. And that did play a big part in my leadership philosophy because usually people, they kind of take things for granted sometimes. And I believe that in order to not take things for granted, we have to achieve some sort of um, epiphany for the most part. Um, so after the Guatemala trip, I had been inspired again by just using teamwork and being creative and fixing problems. And in Guatemala, we actually built a school from scratch, and obviously that took a lot of teamwork. We had to have some sort of integrity. We could have gotten the supplies from a third party or stuff like that, but we chose to do it the right way and to use the materials that we had. Um, so I did go to Los Angeles twice for on the weekends to help out the homeless in need, and again that just completely changed my point of leadership style, and in which transformational leadership really did play a big part in that. In which many of the people there, they're actually really nice people. It's just they kind of got stuck with unfortunate circumstances. But it was an amazing experience just to see all the people um, that really don't deserve to be there on the streets. And um, the Dream Center organization actually takes a couple of them in, and they shelter them and they give them classes, and they give them better education so they can kind of revamp their life into something that they can actually be proud of. And so those two trips within Guatemala and the LA Dream Center trip just absolutely changed my perspective on leadership, along with going to your average camps every year for summer camp, and just reinvigorating my faith within the Lord. And obviously, those three components are also really vital to my leadership success. So finally, I just want to say that my leadership philosophy does heavily depend on my past experiences, mostly with perspectives that I didn't see before, um, mostly within the poor communities like they were in the village in Guatemala and in Los Angeles. And I just think it's a great experience that I think everybody should be a part of at some point in their life, because it really does revolutionize my thinking, and it should revolutionize other people's thinkings too. And so my leadership philosophy again is just to work smarter, not harder. Don't take advantage of opportunities that may present itself in a negative way, but instead find out a different way to use that opportunity to your advantage and not just set it aside. So, yeah, that completes my presentation. Thank you.